Wagwan people.
Yo, good evening, Robbo.
Good evening, everyone. Right now, you know it's a Friday evening. Me and Ernie were discussing some timetable stuff. But yeah, Friday evening, welcome to the Fixture List. Another Friday. And Ernie, your fan base is growing, son.
Oh, thank you very much.
Your fan base, even in the local, down at South Harrow, down at the local fish shop, they was like, hey, do you know Daddy Ernie? I said, of course I know Daddy Ernie. He's my uncle.
Oh, who was that now?
Well, it was just a young football man.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't young. He's actually a big man. He reckons he knows you from a long time and you link all the time and he watches the show and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, is that the time? I got to go.
Oh, you never got no name?
Yeah, his brother is a brethren named Talman, who used to drive the roller, the Rolls Royce.
Talman? That must be Earl.
Earl!
Earl!
Tell us you have fans? Was I wrong then?
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
Nah,
you got fans, bro?
He never used to drive a Rolls Royce. Don't let him hear you say that.
Oh, Mercedes. Sorry, beg your pardon,
Mercedes. He's not too far from you, actually, Robbo.
There you go. So I told you he was down in my local and he was calling your name, man. He watches the show religiously.
All right. So good evening, Earl. Enough respect, Earl.
Yeah. Enough respect, all of Daddy Ernie's fan club. Ernie is now a football commentator. People, forgive him. He talks a load of rubbish he'll be talking rubbish for the next 2 hours, but forgive him. It's entertaining rubbish.
Where was you, Robbo? Was you in Aldi? No, in the Lidl's down there. I know the Lidl's is right on your doorstep.
Was it? No, it weren't Lidl's.
Yeah, man, Lidl's, man.
It wasn't the Lidl's, bro.
What was it then?
Oh, it was the Lidl's. How do you know it was the Lidl's?
It's right on your doorstep. I drive past it all the time.
Damn, it was the Lidl's. I was trying to think, where did I pass him? It was. It wasn't the fish shop. It was the Lidl's. I reckon you got cams on me, son.
You know
Where's your shirt, Ernie?
You know what happened? I'm gonna get it a little more. Don't worry. I'm gonna get it a little more. Don't worry. It'll only take a minute to get my shirt. I know you feel a little bit left out because I haven't got on my Manchester United shirt. But you know what happened? Through the punch up last week, I didn't really want to get the people rile up some more by having my Manchester United shirt.
No, through the punch up and you were caught on camera. You made sure you hid the shirt because the Greater Manchester Police is rounding up them by the dozens, bro.
You know that. Do you know your girlfriend's getting married, isn't it?
Which one?
Dwight York's missus. She said, I can't wait for Rob not get married.
Hey, she might even invite me because listen, anybody connected to Manchester United, they do like a little reggae at their wedding ceremonies. I remember your man Smalling when he got married. Man flew in all the way from Jamaica to his wedding because his girl was like, I like reggae. She flew in Jacure.
Really?
Jacure was singing his heart and soul out for your Chris Smalling guy. So yeah, anybody connected with Manchester United, they do keep nice little ceremonies.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, she won't be getting none of us, Robbo, because she don't really like Manchester United after your brethren put her in the club and all that. You know what I mean?
My brethren.
You know what I mean?
It was love, Ernie. It was love.
Then she shout out for you and you never paid her no attention. It just got come back to us.
Oh, because that wasn't love. That wasn't love. I did it for the money. Did it for the money, not for the likes. So what people, we go on, Ernie.
What we want to do, we want everybody who's watching now to tell 2 friends. And you see them 2 friends, tell the next 2 friends. And we just bill it like that. If everybody share it with 2 friends and they share it with 2 friends and they share it with 2 friends and we just build up the whole thing, get people to subscribe to YouTube and we just get it up and running proper, man. Because right now, people's getting nervous, Robbo.
Yeah, they're getting nervous. I got something. Actually, I always say this every week. Apart from having a drink for you.
Oh, I haven't even got a drink this evening, man. I'm losing the plot.
Gone back to the Merlot, mate. I got something special for you today, Ernie.
Really? What's that?
Wait and see. I've got something especially for Daddy Ernie. Getting really excited. We'll get through that in a hot minute.
Dennis Brown's dead.
Yeah, that 2 friends, make it 3. we already ask you to do when you're watching the show, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, especially Facebook, it's very easy. Just use the share button. Ernie, have you shared it? You better share it now.
Yeah, I haven't even logged on yet, Well,
no, I'm not going to hold on. A man said when Ernie says hold on, there's a technical problem going on. So I'm not going to hold on. But all you got to do is share it if you're on Facebook. It really does help. It really helps the show. We ain't looking for millions and thousands. We ain't trying to break a record. But the more people understand that we're music people, we're community people. Where in the case of Ernie, he's a superstar. But we like to talk about the world of football and everything that surrounds football. And you probably won't hear this on Sky Sports or any of them channels. Like when the dude was throwing the camera, guy on Sky Sports, like, yes, the game's gonna be starting in about half an hour. And there goes the camera, man dancing on top of the nets. I was like, is this guy a fool? What's the dude's name? Oh, forget his name. And anyway, Gary Neville was going in. Gary Neville was having his 2 cents. It was a mess. And Ernie, I reckon a lot of people that subscribe to Sky, I don't like to beat down people. I don't use this platform to beat down people, but I reckon a lot of people that subscribe to football, subscription football on Sky, they must have chucked their subscription in on Sunday. I mean, you Manchester United fans really turned down our Sunday, but it wasn't even so much. I could accept the fact that the game wasn't going on and there was a lot of fans out there that was, unhappy about the whole situation. But it's the way it was broadcasted. Like, I went to Twitter. Yeah. I don't know how many of you use Twitter, but on Twitter, people, Stan Collymore tweets like crazy. And Stan Collymore was tweeting exactly what was happening in Manchester at the ground long before the match. And when Sky turned on, obviously they got to protect the money. They were just showing, well, a little disturbance, couple of fans. This time, Colin was tweeting the pictures of the doors flying off.
Flying in.
You know what I mean? He's tweeting the pictures of the dude slinging the camera stand. The dudes are actually going in on the football pitch like, you know what? I've never scored at the Old Trafford. Yeah, I've never scored at the Old Trafford and, man scoring goals. But the way Sky covered it was like, And then secretly, there's a picture of Gary Neville speaking to the local police. He's never mentioned that, the police are saying it's on here. He's just come on like nothing's happened. And then there was another picture that was, I think I sent it to your phone, where he was shaking the hands of a fan that broke into the ground, which is kind of absurd. That, I mean, I do understand he's a fan as well, but that was ridiculous. And Sky were like, yeah, don't worry, the match is going to start. They're just at the hotel. We're wondering if they can leave. Collymore tweets another post. Leave which hotel? There's 500 man with flares outside the Lowry Hotel. Nothing was going on Sunday. So I actually tweeted myself earlier on, like, this match ain't happening, bro.
No. Yeah, I saw that.
And I just thought Sky's coverage was totally out of order, and it just shows you the little two-sided little snakes that they are. And they won the week before. They was on the side of the fans, the fans. And in the week when the fans went nuts, they were like, all quiet. But there you go. So you ain't gonna get none of that on this show. We're totally unbiased, unashamedly biased. I mean, we're biased. We're biased and unbiased. We do what we like. Especially Ernie. But anyway, that was my 2 cents on the matter. I'm sure Rodney's going to be talking it up. Robbo, the Liverpool tops on sale now. Yeah, here they are. Retro.
I mean, really, retro. Do you want to? They don't want to purchase it, really and truly.
This top here,
feel good. She was just making you feel good.
This. You recognize this top, don't you? Ernie, do you recognize this top?
I don't recognize no other top apart from Manchester
United. You don't recognize the Torres gunman top? This top here?
No.
You're a madman, star. Some tops live with the players. This is a Torres gunman top, when he used to just take Vidic for a walk every time. Vidic, I'm taking you for a walk, then I'm getting you a red card.
And then what Vidic says, I'm going to win the league. I'm going to win the title. It's simple. You could take me for a walk as much as you want to take me. I'm winning the Premiership. You know what I mean?
Well, but listen, it was entertaining those days. They were entertaining days. Long. It's a long time now for Manchester United, though.
Oh, well, we'll see. I like how, the PE teacher ain't done too bad. You know what I mean? He's done better than, well, when Rodney come on, we'll fix up Rodney's business.
He's done better than who? Who's he done better than? You was about to say.
PE teacher. The PE teacher's done better than everybody else apart from Pep.
Well, Mourinho won in his second season.
No. I'm talking about now. This season, they named him the PE teacher.
But he is a PE teacher.
And he's done better than everybody else, barring Pep. So that's not bad for a PE teacher. Give me the PE teacher.
I can't believe a Manchester United fan is talking about doing better in your second. This is Manchester United you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, we're second. We're best of the... I keep on telling you every week.
What's best of the rest? There's no trophy for best of the rest.
Robbo, if you were second, you would be happy.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'll tell you.
So you're quite happy to where you are now then?
No, I'd only be happy that my team would be comfortably sitting in a European position so we can go and play in and make some moolah in Europe. That's about it. I couldn't be happy with second place.
Okay.
No chance.
So what do you reckon a team like all Southampton or Everton or somebody like that, if they were second, don't you think they would be happy?
Don't care. There's no Southampton fans over here, mate.
Or
I don't care. I don't care about down South Coast. I don't care. I just care about North East and North West and London.
You know what I mean? There's other teams in the Premiership who would be more than happy.
Don't care about them. Don't care about them, Ernie. Don't care. Man United all the way.
You're biased.
Robbo, behaving like Sky Sports. No, I'm not behaving like Sky Sports. Sky Sports is soft. Soft. They need Ernie on Sky Sports. Ernie.
No. They wouldn't have me on there because I'd upset the status quo, mate. You know
I know who you'd upset. You'd upset Manchester City fans. Ernie, come on.
Yeah.
Look, see the light. Where's the light? Where's the light? I want to bring it to the light.
What?
You must now see the light.
What light?
Phil Foden is a Stockport gunman. Come on.
All right.
All right. Give the you. He's giving me. He's a good player, and he proved that the other night.
Listen. Once again, they're talking about this golden generation, Phil Foden and the boy there from Chelsea, Mount. They're talking about, remember when they had the golden generation?
Hold on.
Goals and all them money, right?
Hold on.
Nothing.
Hold on. They may talk about their golden generation in their eyes. Yeah. When I see Sancho, when I see Bukayo Saka, when I see some of them youths coming through, Sterling, that's my golden generation, bro.
Yeah, but
they're doing it.
Yeah, they are doing it. But if you look in the papers, he's only Foden and what's his name there?
We don't care about the papers. This is why we're here. Ernie, this is why we're here. Yeah, we don't need the newspapers.
I'm not bigging up Foden, and you're telling me that I should big him up because he's a good
player. But he's a good player. He's just not my golden generation player.
He's a good player, but for me, he's not in the same league as Sterling, even if Sterling ain't in the team.
Well, he's currently got Sterling warming the bench, Ernie. So
yeah, well, Pep is some favoritism.
Obviously, Pep likes him, Ernie.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying. Some favoritism business is going on there. But mine, it don't blow up in Pep's face, you know.
Hey, people, if you're online, come on. I don't ask for fire. I don't ask for emojis. We're asking for none of that. But if Ernie is talking the truth that Phil Foden has turned up, give me the smokes. Is it 1 smoke, 2 smoke, 3 smoke, 4 smoke? But right now, the Stockport gunman is going on terror. Yo, he's repping for the man them from Stockport.
All right. Well, there ain't many of them up there, is it? There's not many people in Stockport. I never heard of it till Phil Foden turned up.
He's good.
I mean, it's Stockport. No, it's near Manchester, actually. I was going to say it's near Liverpool, but it's near Manchester. Because I was going to ask, how come you let him get away?
Oh, Phil Foden.
Yeah, but it's not near Liverpool.
Manchester. No, Stockport is in the surrounding Greater Manchester.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Good evening, Dusty. He says bad boy. Yeah, we're not saying he's a bad boy, but
you are saying he's not a bad boy.
I'm saying that he's a good player, but he's not in the same division, in my opinion, as Sterling. And he hasn't done it.
Ernie.
and he hasn't done. Let's see what he does next season when man get used to him.
Okay, that's fair enough. What about Mason Mount? What do you reckon about Mason Mount?
Yeah, Mason Mount is another good player. These players are good English players. When them come up against the creme de la creme, they're found wanting.
Like most of the England players. That's just like when you had Wayne Rooney as your golden boy when he came up against the creme de la creme.
Anybody who knows me, mate. Anybody who knows me, I was not a Rooney fan. We were shafted with Rooney.
Anyway, Ernie Foden came up against the creme de la creme and he buried them.
Who?
He came up against the creme de la creme and he buried them.
Well, we're seeing the Euros and we're seeing the World Cup. That's where I'm talking creme de la creme.
Okay. Well, I can't argue with that because I remember, as you once told me, you was there in the crowd, right behind the goal, 1966. I think it's all over now. It is now. You was there.
It is now. I was there. I never had an England thing, but I was there. I had a Man United flag. I was there. I was there when Bobby Charlton blazed the second goal against Portugal.
Jeez.
Smash up the players. You know what I mean? Running rings around them in midfield. I was there.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? I was there when Michael Jackson was first at Wembley as well.
Well, people, I think it's that time. I feel the cold. Yeah. I feel a bit chilly right now.
Yeah.
So, we have to welcome our regular contributor people. Listen, if Robbo talks bias rubbish, Ernie just talks rubbish. He's the guy, what we call the voice of reasoning, the cool ruler, Rodney Hines.
Oh,
the cool ruler.
I love that. Thank you very much.
The cool ruler.
Ooh.
Rule them, easy. Rodney. Rule them. Rodney runs the road.
Oh, salutations, greetings.
We're going to get you a background, Rodney. We're going to get you a little fixture list background because you look.
Oh yeah, am I worthy? Am I worthy?
Yes, yeah. You're more than worthy.
Rodney, I was worried about that. The background. I was kind of like saying I watched a few weeks, and there was 1 week you done it in. Listen, people. Rodney's very lavish. 1 week, Rodney done his one, and the piano was behind, and the glittering crystal lampshades. He done one show like that. I thought Rodney was going, nah, can't do this. I'm the cool ruler. I've got to keep it ghetto and go back against the wall and let it look like a mugshot. So he's gone back to the mugshot look. So Ernie, we need to fix up Rodney, man.
Yeah, fix me up.
Rodney wants to look ghetto, but we need to give him a ghetto background still, But Rodney, I actually did. I was admiring the lampshades that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what house I was in, but it's all good.
Yeah, big up Tricky Nicky. I agree with you, Tricky Nicky. We will see. Hey, look, everybody's coming through on Foden's side now, man. I know Rodney's a Foden fan.
No. Listen, I heard,
tell him off.
When I was in the broadcast studio waiting, right? Listen, no one can compare Phil Foden to Raheem Sterling. That's the first thing, right? But on current form, no one's doing it better. No one is doing it better than Phil Foden right now. He's affecting games.
Ernie, do you watch the games? That's the first thing, because I'm not sure. Do you actually watch the game?
I watch bits of it.
Have you seen Foden?
Yeah, I've seen Foden.
Hold on, Robbo. Ernie told me yesterday that he will not be watching the Champions League final.
No, that's a fact. There's no way I'm watching that. When Manchester United play, what's her name, Villarreal in the Euros, that is my Euro season finish as far as club competition. What am I watching Manchester City Chelsea for?
Well, Rodney, we do say the show is we're biased, man. We're biased.
We're biased.
So
it's true.
You're the voice of reasoning, so that's why it's okay for you can be biased.
Yeah, I just thought Chelsea, Man City, an all English final. Most football fans might want to watch that, but he's given his point of view. I understand it.
Yeah, I'm glad you understand it, Rod. But you know what, Rodney?
Yo,
that we have a saying that people take bad things make joke. But Arsenal, come on, bro. Is Arteta? What is it, Robbo? Oh, Robbo's gone.
Robbo's
Is
gone.
is Arteta a
Is
G or a G string?
I don't know what he is at the moment. He's obviously a disappointed man.
Man, a G-string.
You're talking about the most inexperienced manager in the league right now. And I think the last couple of weeks, last couple of months have shown that. It's been a shambles of a season. If you take away the young people, Smith Rowe, Saka, maybe Martinelli, there's been very little to shout about. But all of Arsenal's ills do not fall upon Mikel Arteta. And I can just tell you now, just to update you, remarkably, wait for this, guys, it's Leicester 0 at the King Power, Newcastle 3.
What?
I'll repeat that.
Repeat it for me, please.
Leicester 0. And, you know, they had an injury to Johnny Evans just before the kickoff, and he had to be replaced. It's 3-0. Callum Wilson has just made it 3-0 to Newcastle at the King Power. Now, that's a massive game for Chelsea, Man City tomorrow. All Chelsea fans are up for it now.
Yeah. What's the guy? I bet you that guy's terrorizing him. What's the player they got up there at
Callum
Newcastle?
Wilson and Saint Maximum.
It's a Maximum. Yeah, he must be
They
terrorizing.
They are running rings. They are running rings around a Leicester defence that is minus Johnny Evans right now. But I know we were talking about Arsenal. It's a horror show. This one has to be written off. I don't think they'll get rid of him. I say that because there's a lot of uncertainty around the club in terms of the Kroenkes, after the Super League, etc., etc. I don't think he'll be going anywhere, and I think he'll get more money to spend than he would do normally. And Newcastle are running riot here at the moment. Absolutely, it was nearly 4-0.
So,
but,
I mean, it's embarrassing. They sack old Dick Emery.
Yeah.
And he comes back. He comes back to haunt them. Is their worst nightmare.
Well, yeah, Mourinho came back to Old Trafford and did the same to you guys, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't there. You know, Dick Emery, they did do him bad. They handled him bad. We never handled Mourinho bad.
Don't you think so?
Oh, yes, you did.
We never.
I mean, United fans.
No, you're wild, man. Sorry, you're
we never
wild.
handled him bad. He come up there, thought he was the bee's knees. He could come up there when he wanted to and say, I want this, I want that. And man said, see what happened.
The man is special, man.
When he done his advert,
that was for Tottenham.
He said that not all of these special things were regarded special at the time. So, but listen, it's a horror show right now. 4 games of the season left. I'm sure Arsenal fans, Arteta just need to get away and try and rejig and see what.
So you don't think that because they're calling for him, you know, our mate Crucial Robbie and Tooks and all them.
Sadly, Robbie won't make the decision about Arteta's.
That's not there. They're on the war. They're on a Wenger thing. Man's asking for Wenger to come back.
I mean, listen, I don't think it's too different to what we've seen at United in the past. You know, it happens. There's no divine right to win football matches. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have good players. You've got to have a good coach and bring all those ingredients together. Well done.
I mean, last night was embarrassing, really. There was no...
You say that, but it's fine margins. The woodwork's been hit twice. Fine margins.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Apart from them hitting the post, then they take off Aubameyang, the man whose car was spotted in Muswell Hill.
Did you see Troops? Troops losing his nuts. Love my boy Troops. Troops has gone viral again. Troops kick water buckle. Troops kick milk buckle. Champagne boy. They took off Aubameyang. They took off Aubameyang. It was crazy. And he was the only one who looked like he was going to score. They took off so Rodney, is Arteta a G or is Arteta a G string? Which one? Because so far you ain't answered the question.
It's a G string.
Yo!
Crazy.
I mean, I know we're punishing Arsenal right now, but one thing I definitely need to bring up, whether it be now or later on, I really would love to put the murder of Dalian Atkinson.
Oh, yes.
On the table tonight in a serious discussion. Seriously.
Definitely.
There's a black man played for Villa and scored, if I've got it right, in 1992-93, the first ever Premier League goal of the season against Wimbledon, where he went past about half a dozen men.
From his own half, from his box, I reckon.
Yeah, and some
just
of
in front
the
his
horror
box.
stories that have come out from that court case, tasered and kicked to death. Outrageous.
Absolutely outrageous. I mean, they said that the taser, how the taser works, it tasers you for a few seconds, but if you can ride the default by keeping your finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
He got tasered 6 times more than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Kicked in his head.
As I said, I mean, we can bring it up later if you want, or we can talk about it now. But I mean, I know that story. We've covered it in The Voice, and to say the word horrific would be an understatement.
I think we should cover the story, but I think we can do that, obviously, when Canna's come in, because he didn't suffer the same fate, but how he was dealt with in the game, in the dressing room, on the terraces. Obviously, it says so much about how the
looking
state
forward
of
to that one.
society.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Crystal should be alright. Is Crystal here yet? Crystal Davis. I've seen that she's
Yes.
here yet.
Yeah, she's here. But
Yeah.
Ernie, can I
Yeah.
drop that special one for you?
Oh yeah. Robert
so-
said he got something special for us, Rod.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I'm ready.
actually, listen, cool ruler. Nothing phases old Rodney. It will phase you because obviously, he's a Manchester United fan,
Yeah, man.
and spoke to him day before yesterday, just before the big game. Anthony, let's roll that clip. Your team might be needing you, bro. Look at they doing to Manchester United, bro. Look at they doing to your squad, your team, bro. Second in the table. I know you can win. I know you can win UEFA,
Yeah.
Come on,
Let's see. Well, we have one foot into the finals already. Let's see if we can just one more match away, you understand? So, but we didn't do so well. We draw a lot of matches that we shouldn't have drawn this season.
Yeah.
Like, we had a lot of chance to win and we draw a lot of matches because I still can't believe we're in second. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan. I can't believe we're in second either. You shouldn't be there. we should be somewhere close there, man.
You know what I mean? But I want them thing, man.
Yeah.
Just have to believe. That's all we can do. Just believe on the side.
Maybe they might need you because I heard they're going for a whole new overhaul at Manchester. Them don't want the ground. Them don't want they don't want the owners. They don't want nothing. They just want something new. So listen,
thing, man. People just hungry right now, but we'll see what happens in a few weeks.
It's crazy.
Yo, fastest man in the world dropping in on the fixture list, bro.
He's still a fan. It's amazing. I thought he'd make the big switch.
He loves his football, man. Loves his football.
I mean, if he could rewind the clock and put on a Manchester United shirt, I reckon he'd play for free.
If he could rewind the clock, he'd probably be a cricketer, wouldn't he? Though, wasn't he a big cricket fan?
I think he's a cricket fan, but football, I think, is really the passion.
Yep. So you can see that, Ernie. I couldn't speak to the big man without finding out, how he feels about your beloved Manchester.
Can we talk about the events? Can we talk about the events of last week, though?
Yeah. Ernie loves it. Ernie missed it by how many hours would you late, Ernie? You got there too.
No, I was busy, innit? I was busy. I had my radio program and I come off, and I was doing a few bits and pieces. Then my young one said to me, "Dad, are you watching Old Trafford?" I said, "No, I had the game. I ain't on the game yet. I'll be on it soon." He said, "The game ain't going on. You're fighting." Were
you surprised, Rodney, that the the fans reacting in the way they reacted. I'm not surprised fans reacted, but was you surprised how it was so easy to breach the stadium and just, it was just like a free for all. My good friend Mr. Lynch phoned me and he says, I've seen everything in football, but I've never seen this. It's like the total disrespect, and it almost reminds you of what happened down at the in Washington, the insurrection, where it's like everybody just stand back and just let people go nuts.
Yeah,
is this the new sign, Rodney?
Yeah, it's now Newcastle 4 up against Leicester at King Power. It's mad.
Hold on. Are we going to say that Newcastle's up for the Premiership next season by the way they're going on?
Well, I mean, I just think it makes it interesting because just before I answer Robbo's question, Leicester faded lastminute.com as well last year. Do you remember from the Champions League spots?
Yeah.
And if Chelsea were to beat Man City tomorrow, Chelsea would go third.
Yeah.
So yeah, Callum Wilson is running riot at King Power right now. Yeah, Robbo, you said breach, right? Was it a breach or was a gate left open? Or do you know what I mean? Me and Ernie joked about it during the course of the week. Whoever's had a security at Man United probably needs to be at the job center. Needs to be at the job center.
There was the tweet I saw from Stan Collymore, like during the program where Sky's on, and there was like, it's a few fans, and they got into the ground, and the way it was sounded was like, they just got in the ground.
No.
He's posted the tweet where they're at one of the doors, and there's 5 men just like, I'll have a go, kicking in the door.
They're in the dressing room. I mean, first of all, listen, we still had the Super League carnage taking place, right? And it was United, Liverpool, doesn't matter where they are in the league, is still the biggest game in Britain, okay?
Yeah.
So we had the Super League scenario. We knew this game was taking place. The ante was added to that by the fact that if Liverpool beat United, City would have won the league, right? There was talk all around Manchester that there was going to be a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
And you're telling me security couldn't deal with that in advance? Absolute madness.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, the majority of protesting fans were fair-minded and want it to be peaceful. And like any large group, you're going to get a few nutters. But how do 100 people get onto the field of play at Old Trafford, arguably the greatest football institution in this country, bar Wembley, on a Sunday afternoon and start throwing Sky Sports cameras at Graham Sounders and players? Come on, that's got.
I've got one theory.
Go for it.
I got one theory.
The Scousers were involved.
No, I got one theory.
Well,
there wasn't any black people there, so that's how.
If there was any black people at Manchester Piccadilly Station saying they're going to Old Trafford, they would have been stopped at the station. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think if there was a large number of black people, Asians, Caribbean people, African people there, do you think that would have happened, Rodney? Seriously?
Of course it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. So what I'm trying to say, we knew something was going to go down in the biggest match of all time this season. United versus Liverpool, historically, it's the one. We knew that Liverpool winning would give City the title. There were so many subplots. And you're telling me that the police and the security involved couldn't stop people getting onto the field of play? No, I don't want to accept that one. Absolutely.
Well, you know what gets me, right, Rod, is that they broke into the training ground about 7 days.
Absolutely right. Yep.
And Man United said they were going to beef up the security. I reckon they got. You know what? I reckon they got two. They got new security, and 2 men from Liverpool was on that security and letting the Manchester United man them. That's what I reckon happened.
Hey, listen,
some Scousers was involved.
Big and serious though. If Ernie, you know how it goes. We've done events, and we've done events where crowd even just trying to get into an event, a dance. It gets hot. You have to stand up. If I saw 400 man kicking off a door and I'm a security getting my £8 or £10 an hour, do you think I'm stopping them from going on the pitch? I'd be like, knock yourself out, man. Go and do hat tricks, cartwheels. Do what you like. Take pictures. A matter of fact, go on the IG live. Go live. Come, I'll hold the camera for you.
Yeah,
I'm not stopping them. So you
understand what
can't blame
you're
the
saying.
security.
I'm not saying security per se, but the police were there.
Well, the police are in the same
How,
boat.
how do you just stroll into Old Trafford on a Sunday afternoon and walk onto the pitch? How do you do that?
I've told you already, Rod. It's the only reasonable excuse. Some scousers involved
Stop that, Ernie, bro.
on
Stop that.
the security. The new security that came in, some scousers was involved.
No.
The stadium would be on fire.
Gussie said if Scousers were involved, the stadium would be on fire. You're damn right. Scouts, them wide up there so don't play. Hey, did you also see the way there was a man handled by the police outside the Lowry?
Yeah,
and the police said, right, okay. Because they have to work in six, six of them. They grabbed this lad out of the I shouldn't call him lad. I'm sounding like newspaper. This madman out of the crowd, and they pulled him to one side. They pulled him behind the police van, and the police gave him and it was being filmed.
Somebody was always going to pay a price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that policeman's going to pay a price because those licks were hot, man. He went straight for the guy's ribs, like 4 big blows. And I was thinking. Yeah. 4. You went 1, 2, 3, like big thumps.
I must say some of the comments about the Super League for me by some of the pundits was inflammatory. It was really wind up stuff. And as I said, me and Ernie talk about this all the time. When you get this racism issue and you want to have a social media block out for 3 days, right? It shows that games can be stopped. That's the first ever Premier League game to be stopped.
We've been talking about it for weeks. Yeah? Stop the game.
That's what supposed to do.
If they want to take that stance, Leicester have just pulled a goal back. Not that I think it matters with 10 minutes to go. But it shows what can happen. It's the only way because the Premier League then get jumpy. People around the world are not watching the biggest game of all time. It would have been City's coronation. That's cost a lot of people a lot of money. Okay. And it's added to the fixture list. In terms of United and Liverpool, right? So games can be stopped if there's a will to do so. There is a will to do so.
Exactly. If the man them stop talking about this foolish Twitter business for 3 days, and no sooner had they switch back on the Twitter, and who gets it? Sterling gets it. Geezer gets it. Yeah. Forget that rubbish. Forget that bullshit. Yeah. Let's start stopping some games.
As I said, if there's a will to do it, it gets done, and we've seen that. Super League done and dusted inside 48 hours of its announcement.
Yep.
The biggest game in British football cancelled. Never even started.
People.
Sunday game 4:30.
Yeah.
You know how many people would have been watching that game around the world?
Mashed up my Sunday. People, if you got a view on what happened on Sunday, and listen, I told you we don't care, we're biased, but sensible opinion. Drop your opinion in the text, whether you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, because we're I mean, Ernie's very, very, very this way. He's a Manchester United fan, but as long as he gets to eat his dinner on Sunday and see the match, he doesn't actually really care if the ground got mashed up or not. But obviously, there's the other issue is that there is the way the match was stopped and how fans have mobilized. I was impressed. I must say that, Rodney. I'm really impressed because this was planned from Friday, and they told the Glazers, if you do not respond to our demands by 12 o'clock on Friday, we're going to stop the game. Yeah. And I'm impressed. I must say, I wasn't impressed with the guy on the goalpost. He looked like a proper lout, but I was impressed with how it was. They mobilized themselves.
I saw I think it was a Sky interview in the States with one of the Glazers. I don't know if anybody saw that.
No.
Yeah, Joel.
Where this reporter chased him down the street and she asked him questions and he totally blanked her. Now, you see, I'm saying to you, right, he needs to be careful. Do you know what makes sense? Because football fans have proven, not just in the Super League and last Sunday, what they can do when you wind them up. Do you remember when Lampard, was it Lampard? No, when Rooney was rumoured to be going to Man City. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, man, the Men in Black came round.
The Men in Black. Do you remember when Gerrard
was going to Chelsea?
Was going to Chelsea. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, some Scousers came round.
Yeah, so
met his dad in a pub. So hello, Mr. Gerrard.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're smiling about it, but when football fans, as you said, Robbo, mobilise themselves, it's not easy.
I was impressed. We had a few people saying Gary Neville should be barred from Sky. To be honest with you, Ernie, I said my piece about Sky earlier on. I actually don't care. I'm happy to see Sky fold because they've been fanning this for quite some time. And if the bit of the fire catches their tail, no problem, because they were fanning it. They've been doing it. And like with most of modern media, who they know what they do. They do this for clicks. They clickbait. They do it for. You even have to go. You don't have to look too close. Go on Sky's social media, and when they were after Pogba, bro, you would have thought. Yeah, you're thinking, why are these comments? Why are you turning up these comments week in? Anything that fair enough. Roy Keane does what Roy Keane does, and what's the other guy? Souness does what Souness does. But why are you choosing to post these inflammatory clips about Paul Pogba, the person, not the player, the person, his hairstyle, his swagger, his this, his that? Sky on their social media, so don't get this twisted. That's why thousands of people are turning off their subscription. They fan this stuff. They were fanning it with Raheem Sterling. They were fanning it with Tammy Abrahams. They're currently doing it. They fan this stuff. Don't think that this thing is not done and it's not thought about. They know they're going to get a response. So right now, as they say, fire there must teal.
Should we bring in Crystal? Because we got Crystal and we got our special guest in the background there. Maybe Crystal has got a little say on what has been happening at Old Trafford. Come in, Shilikabot Shitalawa. Yo, Crystal.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Wagwan.
Nothing. How are you? How's the team?
All good.
That question's for Ernie.
No, it's for Rodney. It's for Rodney.
It's for everyone. How's everyone doing?
Crystal, get this right. I'm not part of anyone's team. I'm just here on a Friday. Just here. I'm not with this guy. I'm not with him. I'm not with him.
Crystal,
how are you then, Robbo? How's Robbo Ranks doing?
Robbo Ranks is doing fine. We're doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Despite last night's results, I'm okay because I think that was expected. So you just take it on a chin when you're an Arsenal fan at this point.
I don't know about that, Crystal. Crystal, where are you going with this expected thing? I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
No Arsenal fan I spoke to was talking about, we're not going to score. All Arsenal fans were confident. They were posting the team sheets, the predicted team sheets from morning. Aubameyang's name was there. Everybody said, yeah, he's going to come and do the business. Yada da. Nobody was throwing that Emery was going to do a defensive masterclass on Arsenal. You can't say it was expected.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm speaking in hindsight. When you look at the game, when you actually look at the first 25 minutes of the match, you can kind of figure out the results. You can see that, okay, yeah.
That's Liverpool. That's a Liverpool thing. After 20 minutes, you know what happens.
No, it's the same like Arsenal, because I don't know if you watched the game last night, but it took us about 25 minutes to come into the match, literally. And that was a Aubameyang shot, which deflected off the post, and that was it. And last night it was the same as before. It looked to me like our plan B was better than our plan A, which is something I don't quite get, because surely your plan A should always be better than your plan B. The fact that left Martinelli on the bench, obviously that kind of set us back in terms of our creativity. We needed to be creative. We were slow. We just didn't look like we wanted it. And then we wasted 45 crucial minutes, come back out for the second half. And then that's when the players played as if they wanted it. But by then it was just too little too late.
Yeah, what's happening to Thomas Partey?
Thomas Partey, again, I'll give him until next season, because obviously I'm not making excuses for him, but he is relatively new, and that's a fact, to the league. It's a different tempo. It's a team that's disrupted at the moment. It's not a team that, is smooth sailing and having their own way. There's so many changes going on within the starting 11 at Arsenal. Last night was an example of where it's almost as if he's just been hung out to dry, because he's been made to do two players' job. he didn't have the El Neni or he didn't have Xhaka in midfield. He had two creative midfielders playing around him. And so he had to do the tracking back and forth and left himself exposed on a number of occasions, which in the end did himself a huge amount of disservice.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing I say about Thiago when people have a go and say, "Oh, Thiago's not all that." I said he's not playing in the position, and it's very difficult.
Leicester have pulled another goal back, by the way, with 3 minutes ago. It's Leicester 2, Newcastle 4.
Oh, come on, Newcastle, man. But, what do you think about Emery's revenge, as Ernie called him, Dick Emery's revenge? Dick Emery. Emery's revenge. Did you see that one? Did you see well, actually, not even if you forget what you saw, how did you feel?
To be honest with you, Robert, I'm numb. I'm absolutely numb to it because, like I said, the first half an hour, you knew within yourself, if you're an Arsenal fan, or even if you just watch Arsenal on a regular, you just knew that, yeah, this isn't going to end the way we would want it to end, which is quite interesting because I saw a lot of people on social media and the BT pundits almost in some sense wanting Arsenal to go through to the final because obviously it would make it a all English final, but the players, you have to put it down to the team selection, which is obviously down to the manager, and you have to also put it down to the players themselves because they didn't look like they wanted it. Smith Rowe was up for it. Martinelli, when he came on, he was up for it. But this is all the young players. What about the senior players? What about the more experienced players? They let themselves down again last night, and they could only blame themselves, and that's the reason why Unai Emery came away with the all-important result. Arsenal needed one goal, just one single goal, and you couldn't deliver. So, it's the same old story with them.
Yeah, you're right, Crystal, because, I mean, there's nothing new with the way that Arsenal went out yesterday. And, it's funny, I think that even if Arsenal had scored, you could almost see them conceding lastminute.com to still go out the competition. The younger players, I think, have been around since Boxing Day, significantly when Arsenal was struggling. And then they played Chelsea, if you remember, at the Emirates and beat them 3-1. Season turned on the Smith Rowes and the Sakas. But those guys have now been having to graft hard because the senior players that Crystal was talking about are not performing. And they're tired themselves, do you know what I mean, mentally and physically. But they have been, if anything, the only little bits of sparkle in what's been a really, really disappointing season.
So where does Arsenal go from here then, in your opinion, Rodney and Crystal? Like for next season, what major changes have to happen for them to get back to somewhere where they can be even considered to be in the top?
G-string's got to go.
I think what they got to do, I don't think they'll go I don't think Arteta will go. This is just me speaking. Obviously, Crystal will have her own view. I don't think he'll go because I think with the Super League smoke that is still billowing over Emirates Stadium, the Kroenke situation is up in the air at the moment. Will Mr. Spotify come through with the money, etc., etc.? I don't think they'll get rid of Arteta because their own scenario is pretty unstable themselves. But I did say, I think to Ernie or to Crystal during the course of the week that possibly, it can't be a guarantee, obviously, the Kroenkes might be a little bit more willing to part with some serious money this summer, even if it's just as a pacifier. I don't know what Crystal thinks.
No, I agree with Rodney, but for me, like, the mindset has to change because they don't seem to believe in themselves. They lack leadership big time. And how many times have we said that Arsenal lack leadership? We've been saying that for like almost a decade now. So it's almost as if it's just ingrained into the new culture that they do not believe in themselves. And for me, it doesn't matter which manager comes on board. If your players don't believe in themselves, then the results will always repeat itself. You look at Chelsea and where they were about 4 months ago, people making fun of them, questioning Lampard's legacy, and then they get a new manager, he comes on board and he's turned it around in the matter of 3 months. They're now in the FA Cup final and they're now in the Champions League final. And look at Arsenal. Arsenal faced Chelsea 2 seasons ago in the Europa League final, and look at the two difference between both sides. one is miles ahead of the other. So I don't know for Arsenal, the culture just isn't right at the Emirates.
I think the only difference, Crystal, with clearly you've mentioned Chelsea, and I see the point you're making, but the vital difference between Chelsea and Arsenal is the owner is prepared to invest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I saw the Chelsea front line. We've got to talk Champions League as well because there's a big old final coming that Ernie's not going to watch, right? But you've got to respect what Abramovich is doing and done. £250 million of his own money has gone into that football club. Now, with all due respect, can anybody on this call remember where Chelsea were before that investment? Can anybody remember?
I think they were sixth.
Right. Can anybody remember where Man City were before the Sheikh's money? And
they were in the third division.
Right. Significantly, we have a Champions League final that has Super League written all over it within the confines of the Premier League. Because that's where the money gets spent. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yep.
And it's not green eye that I'm talking. I'm just talking facts. Do you know what I mean? This is why I will still talk about, and I know we joke about them, West Ham. If West Ham were to get into a Champions League spot, does anybody know who West Ham's most expensive player is?
Well, it's not Jesse Lingard, but they must be paying him a packet, though.
Right, but it's good coaching, getting a good squad together. You know how
Rodney,
they're going to play.
When I said to you, and and it's well documented, you can go back as Ernie likes to say, watch the tip. Yeah. I told you, Arteta is going, and you said, nah, he's gone, bro. When you look across the road, as you say, and see what Thomas Tuchel has done in a short space of time with just direct coaching, right conversation, giving planning and putting the players in the structure with an ordinary. Let me tell you something. Let me say this. Although they've been
Robbo, hold on 2 seconds. Are you trying to say that the quality of player at the Emirates is even close to the quality of player at Stamford Bridge?
If you take away, let me just say, if you take away possibly Chelsea's backline, their back players, there's not a lot of difference. Arsenal's fight. You've got William, you've got Aubameyang, you've got Pepe, you've got Smith Rowe, you've got Bukayo Saka, emerging talent. Hold on. There is no way.
At Stamford Bridge, you got Ziyech, Havertz, Werner. Okay, 150 million.
None of them chat to Aubameyang. None of them.
Listen. I mean, we could.
If you agree with me, smokes on the screen. Which one of them? Which one of Chelsea's front players talks to Aubameyang?
I think the problem with Aubameyang.
Hold on. You can say that, and I understand what you're saying to some degree in terms of the stats. In about 3 weeks' time, Werner, Havertz, Ziyech will have potentially in their pocket a Champions League title.
Hey, let me say this to you, Rodney, in return. Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, I can name the players who've got a Champions League medal. It means nothing. It's a consistent thing. The quality of...
Arsenal fans would love to have some of what Liverpool fans have had.
We've had a taste of it. It makes no difference if you're not consistent, and it makes no difference if you haven't got a good coach. I've got obviously... I believe in Klopp. I believe in his process. I understand that the team, the back room failed him in terms of not getting in defenders at the time when we lost our players and yada, yada, yada. But I believe in Klopp. He's got a process. You can see Klopp's process. Thomas Tuchel, you immediately saw that after 3 games.
He's managed.
Arteta, I am still wondering who this cone carrier is.
Compare Tuchel with Arteta.
You can.
No, you can't.
He's the coach of Arsenal Football Club.
No,
and
he doesn't have the same experience.
Well, then why bring him?
Because how does anyone get experience? By giving him a job.
You had Emery, an experienced manager. You got rid of Emery, so you then go, let's get somebody, I know, inexperienced. That's why you're 9th.
Arteta is an inexperienced manager, and all of the problems of Arsenal right now do not belong on his shoulders. The recruitment policy at Arsenal has been poor for a long time.
Well, he's seen two windows.
When you see only 2 windows, how many windows? Okay, well, let's use Emery as the link, because I'm almost certain Emery's Spanish team, Sevilla, whatever, put Liverpool to sleep in a Europa League final? Did they not?
Yeah.
So it happened. It took Klopp, and I'm not saying that I can compare Arteta to Klopp. It takes a little bit of time, or you rip up the script. That said, if somebody
Klopp went to a final before his first window, before second window, he went to European final.
Arteta won the FA Cup last year.
FA Cup, FA Cup, wine glass. Come on, Rodney.
Robert, listen, Arsenal are never going to win the Premier League currently. They're not going to win the Champions League. You have
I get that.
Win, you have to win what you can at your level.
I'm just saying. I think that recruiting Arteta to do that Arsenal job after what happened with Emery was like, I don't know how anybody could have sat in the boardroom and said, I know, let's get Arteta. We need to start from the bottom. Arsenal's not a team that needs to start from the bottom. It's a great club, great heritage. You've got great players.
I don't know if we've got great players. What Arsenal
Lacazette
player,
and Lacazette.
What Arsenal player would get into Man City's team right now?
Not a lot of players would get into Man City's team, to be fair.
What Arsenal player would get into Man United's team right now?
None of them.
I reckon up front,
nothing.
Aubameyang would get in there. A hardworking Lacazette could get games. Come on, Cavani. Come on, Lacazette, Aubameyang are getting in that team. I reckon Bukayo Saka will be sharing duties with the guy with Greenwood. Definitely, 100%.
Yes.
Let's not talk about Cedric. Cedric would be he'd be in for slabhead.
Where is Cedric? He's gone missing.
Anyway, Crystal, Talawa TV. Just quickly, the turn up for women's football. You must be pleased, or not?
Well, Chelsea.
Sorry, Rebels. Repeat that again. Lost you for a second.
The turn up for the women's football. I was watching a bit. Listen, you know what? You were right. You said last time, Robbo, if you watch the game, you'd be quite intrigued. And I was watching Chelsea, Man City. I was like, they're not too bad, in they? They were playing some good football.
Chelsea
it's
women
entertaining, and Women's Super League is definitely growing. It's just like I said, if you actually give it a chance, you see that whilst it's not on the same tempo as the men's game, the entertainment factor is definitely there. So it was nice that you gave it a chance, and obviously is continuing to grow globally.
It looks really good. One of the things that's been going around all week was Tottenham need a new manager, and there's the Chelsea head coach looking like she's got the magic dust. Is there a chance that the Chelsea head coach, what's her name? Sorry, her name escapes me. Emma Hayes, Tottenham's new manager.
What do you reckon?
What do you reckon?
That's not going to happen. She has no reason. Why would she leave Chelsea to go to Tottenham? She don't need to. Not only is it a downgrade, she does not need to do that. Massive downgrade because of when you compare both of the clubs, but also what she's got going on at Chelsea at the moment. Why on? That's like saying, would Pep go to Tottenham? Why?
That's a downgrade.
Unless she's looking for an early retirement or a new challenge. You know, she don't need to do that.
Downgrade.
An interesting point that Crystal makes, but sooner or later, the way the world is moving, we will have a woman in charge of a men's team at a senior level.
Oh, you were talking about men's football?
Yes,
a woman in charge of a men's team.
Yes. Oh, I thought you meant why would they? I don't think much of Tottenham anyway, so I'm not going to take back my chat. But even so, yeah. Maybe. I think it's maybe too soon.
Emma Hayes to replace Mourinho.
Mourinho's got to Roma, mate.
Maybe I think it's too soon. And also, how would the Tottenham fans react to that? I don't think that's something that they'll be. They've
got nothing to worry about. They'll just leave the ground. They'll just leave the ground and go to Sainsbury's, do a bit of shopping, and go home. Sound good. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that's going to happen anytime soon. But you don't know. Football is so unpredictable these days. It just might happen.
Well. Well, listen, we have got a special guest in the house. I'm going to leave Ernie to introduce him. He has quite a story, but before we bring in Paul Canoville, let's line him up and bring him in. Bad man forward, bad man pull up. Eddie Nestor's in the house to chip in. I'm wondering if he
Here we go. Here we go.
Eddie's in the house, and we need Eddie on board because King Canners is not it. King Canners has got talk, and we need the real serial chatty man. Oh no, that's actually sorry.
No,
sorry,
don't say chatty man, please.
Oh, sorry, Ed. Like I didn't rehearse that one.
Okay.
Sorry, Ed. Sorry, didn't mean chatty man. I mean Eddie Nestor in the building. Big up, Eddie.
You get the narrow eye today. Greetings, all of you. Sorry, I'm late. Hello, special guest lady. Lovely to meet you. It's my eldest son's birthday, so
Happy
I had
birthday,
to give him
eldest
a
son.
little time and just send him to his bed so bad man can get in some talk here. You know what I mean? I just think it's amazing that the Chipmunk and Rodney would appear on this in the way that they have. How the two of them can show their faces, Liverpool and Arsenal. Two of the three big teams won't even make the top 6 this year. It's an absolute disgrace. It was all set up. London, Manchester. The script was written, Rodney Hines, for Arsenal to qualify, and they flopped it. They absolutely flopped it. Your past manager beating your present manager. You are stepping back into time. You're in reverse. You're going backwards.
Eddie, good evening.
Chris,
Good evening.
Have you missed me?
Crystal's an Arsenal fan as well, Eddie. Don't forget.
Well, I don't know you like that, but if you're with them, then you deserve to get the blast as well.
He don't know you like that, blood.
Yeah, it's appalling. What's happened there? It's horrible. It's horrible. Tottenham, Arsenal as well. Ooh, messy.
Right, are you finished?
It's funny because Eddie's reaction.
Yeah. I've missed you from last week. I wasn't there. I was watching that guy. What's his name? The fat short guy, White Yardie, talk about Arsenal and the other one there. What is that about? Come on. Anyway, good day. I'm ready now.
Hold on. I've got to just say something. I just got a little message here that
You were waiting for this.
hold on. I've got a message that Darren Moore, the Sheffield Wednesday manager, is tuned into this podcast right now. So we got to wish him
The
well.
whistleblower. He's a whistle. He operates with a whistle, doesn't he?
Nah, he wasn't well. Darren, big respect.
Big up Darren Moore, man.
Yeah, man, big him up, man. Big him up.
And good
Speedy
luck
recovery, Darren.
and good luck for that showdown amongst all showdowns tomorrow. Derby versus Sheffield Wednesday. Hope
Sheffield
you get
Wednesday's
those
winning that. Rooney's going, mate.
Who said Derby haven't got a manager?
You don't.
Eddie, your mic's a bit high, Eddie.
Sorry. I'll put it
You
away
don't. You can't.
I'm
You can't
passionate.
call. You
Bit like his-
don't
bit
know.
like
You
his
know.
chest.
You don't know. But obviously, Darren
Can I
Moore.
ask you a question? Yeah. Good.
I was
On
about to say-
Darren, right? Is it just me? But I've never wanted West Brom to win another game.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, only
I
wanted
felt the
Brighton
same. I
to go
feel the
down
same
as
way
well,
about.
because
I feel the same way about Brighton as well.
Right
And
as well.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
But Brighton went and got an ex-Man United and ex-Arsenal player to keep them up, didn't they?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Danny
Welbeck.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling West Bromwich Albion for that. That was kind of
When I was a kid in Hackney, right, we used to play on the AstroTurf.
Oh, God.
One day we were playing on the AstroTurf, on
AstroTurf in
Homerton.
your days.
Yeah.
You sure? You're at gravel.
Step away from the car.
You used to play
And
gravel.
I was running down, and there was a go-to brother, and me and this brother were running for the ball, and he was a lot faster than me, and I tried to stretch out, and I clipped him, and he rolled over, and he got up, and I was scared he was going to knock me out. You know who that guy was?
Rudy Liquid.
Paul Canoville.
Paul Canoville.
Yeah, he lived-
Wow.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
regular. He was a
You think
regular.
we should bring him in on that?
Hey. So you know. Listen, people. You see, from Edward's talking like that, Ed would have stories. So we might as well bring him. We might as well bring him in right now, and I want to know why he didn't thump down your ass for tripping him over. Because
first player to play for Chelsea.
And guess what he was, Ernie? Guess what he was and still is.
Dangerous.
He's so
dangerous.
Hear that, Eddie? Eddie, you should trip him up.
Yes, my brother. Yes. If you know how I pray for that brother there, if you know how I got down on my knees and pray for that brother there, when I heard about him, when I heard about Viber, if you know how that brother there, we thought we were gonna lose you, my brother. God bless you on this podcast.
Blessings.
Yeah,
Blessings.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and I'm just listening to you. Eddie, the only reason why I never get up and top you because I weren't supposed to be playing. I would get myself in trouble.
Is that the gold teeth missing at the front there, Paul?
Yeah, bro. Look, let me tell you something. Since that health scare, I've had so much drugs, and not the weed or thing. The drug they gave me made the weed. And next thing you know, we wake up in the morning and the thing drop out. Me said, "What? Wait, me can't smile again." So I'm fixing this teeth out. Seriously, I had a gold teeth for 32 years. Understand? Yeah, been right there. So yeah, it's dropped out. But I'm legends. Very interested in listening to you. Sorry, I've got to say this for Daddy Ernie.
Yeah.
Tony Mendy says hello. He says you. Tony Mendy said you was a bad boy left winger.
Well, you know, we've been telling Robbo this from a long time, you know.
Left back. He was a left back. He was a left back. Left back in the changing room.
More people that come on and say it, Paul. So I want you to say that again.
I just have to say,
I'm off.
He was playing for Ravens. Tony Mendes said you was a bad boy.
Yes.
Player, left winger.
Yes. We got Tony.
Great time. Robbie, Rodney, Crystal.
Captain.
Love your
Love
feedback.
you, my brother.
And
I remember
Eddie,
those times on Kingsmead Estate with you, my friend.
Let me tell you, see when Eddie said there, right?
Yeah.
When I went and I played down in Hackney Marshes, and he was saying he's right, the AstroTurf.
Yeah, I remember it well.
I wasn't supposed to be playing football after the end of the season, but you know, a young boy just, can't stop him. So it was like, you know what, on the pitch, 20 aside, them kind of thing. But there was one person that stood out, and I didn't know. And this person took a flight of a ball, when I mean head height, took a flight of the ball and brought it down. Now, don't get me wrong, every black man just stopped and clapped for that.
Definitely weren't Eddie, though.
It wasn't Eddie.
It was Larry Cunningham.
Jeez.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. A Knicks legend.
That's the one I thought, well, damn. And look where he went. And he went on. So for me, it was like, as a young kid, seeing them boys, they were my peers. And every one of them, from Cyril Regis, all of them was my peers. So growing up, I was talking about the other day when I was at Hillingdon, and that was non-league, and you know that, Rodney, how it was back then as a kid.
Yeah, I remember.
And I think, like, Cyril was at Hayes, Ferdinand was at Southall. Trust me, those were grassroots for me as a player, and I was in the first team at the age of 16. So growing up there, it's like, that's all I wanted to be, was a professional footballer. And I went to a few trials. I went West Brom, I went Millwall, I went Wimbledon, I went Southampton. And when Chelsea came in, I'll tell you the truth, I just missed out on Tottenham. I don't
did yourself a favour.
Tottenham. Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. Yeah, and Patrick, I hope you're listening. Yeah, because you say we're running you down, you're running your team, but they are the rundown. I don't care. But it was Pete Bertram was the manager at the time.
Who was the manager?
Just missed that. Yeah, I just missed that. Yeah, Berkshire was the manager.
Keith Berkshire.
Yeah.
No, I just signed for Chelsea. So don't get me wrong. It was tough. You know that, Rodney. It was tough. But it was one of the things. Yeah, what's Patrick now? Yeah, I can read you, Patrick. Don't worry. But
Patrick is tapping the keyboard.
Yeah, tapping. It was so difficult. It was one of the things I couldn't give in. And I mean, it was tough. You know, trust me, many a times I wanted to do a Cantona and going fully into the crowd with the boots up. I'm not lying.
But
PC, I know. I mean, most of us know your story, but I know we go back so many years now. Right?
We're gonna talk. We need to chop it up though.
Some of this abuse clearly was coming from Chelsea fans, wasn't it?
Yes.
How challenging was that to deal with for you?
You know what? I honestly hate to say it, but the majority was the Chelsea fans. Now, I didn't know the history of coming to Chelsea. As far as I'm concerned, this is a professional club. It's a big club. It's a London club. It's a big London club. I didn't expect that. So by me playing in reserves, which was comfortable, because that's what you do. You're playing in reserves, you're man of the match, you're scoring, you're showing the first team, hey, what manager? Yeah, need to put him in. And you got to imagine then back then, it's not like 6 subs you had and use 3. It was just 1 sub, you know.
Yeah.
1 sub, 11 players and 1 sub. So your manager had to know when he can use you. So don't get me wrong, we had some big players as far as I remember. Mickey Fillery was a real skillful player. Obviously their favourite was Clive Walker. But for me to make the debut, and don't get me wrong, I was so excited. And we went to Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace, and but I was on that coach. I found it everybody. I could have found the whole world. I wanted it to be there, yeah. And it was nervous, and you get the banter in the changing room, and the lads, greeted me and said, "Candace, get on. When you do, good luck." And I was so excited. Don't get me wrong. I sat in the dugout and I watched my opponent. I watched the right back and I said, I'm going to roast that brother. You don't know. Yeah. But the first half when it was 0-0, and the second half I was ready, because I think if it stays like this, I've got to get on it. Definitely. So that 25 minutes went in the second half and it's still 0-0, and I'm thinking, come on man, you've got to look at me. Tell me to warm up. And our manager at the time, John Neal, and I respect him fully, even to this day, rest in peace, because he gave me my opportunity, he gave me my chance. And it was like, it must have been the last 13, 15 minutes. And then he just said, Candace, go and win one. And that was it, bro. I'm ready to warm up because I want to get on. And that burst, when you go at the sideline, and you imagine how the grounds are now, how they are, they've closed in closer. You can hear the fans really. And there I was, and I started to hear this racist abuse, and I'm thinking, boy, but we at Crystal Palace and fans are bad. I said, I'm a one. He said, no, ignore that, Paul. Just don't look at him. But it continued, and it got so bad, and so bad, I just couldn't ignore it. And I was like, what? When I turned around, it was like, no, hold on a minute. But these are my own fans. What? And they seen I'm playing in the blue shirt, the same scarf you're playing. And trust me, changed everything. Yeah? That excitement that I was ready to roar had changed everything. Yeah? The butterflies that I had before sank. I didn't want to get on the pitch. When I went on the pitch, I stood right by the line, didn't move. I got the ball, I gave it back. I got the ball, I gave it back. I'm waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. And when he did, I ran straight into the changing room.
Wow.
Now, if you've been in the changing room, you would know the banter we have, no matter how the game, everybody's like, yeah, what, should have had that goal. We'd be talking. Let me tell you something. This was the quietest changing room I've ever been in. It was because the lads couldn't say nothing. What would they say? Paul, are you all right? They heard it.
Yeah.
They heard everything. They know I wasn't all right. So don't ask a stupid question. And it was my manager, John Neal, that took me in the corner. He said, Paul, boy, I don't know how you're feeling right now. I'll be honest. But these are the same ignorant people who are paying your wages. What are you going to do? And that's what he put to me, you know. And boy, from there, it was like, you know what? I can't leave. I've come too far. I've come too far for this. I wanted this so badly from the age of 5. Yeah, and I gave my mother hell. So for me to be going anywhere else and receiving the same thing, that don't make sense. That day, I remember my phone was ambushed. When I say cousins were phoning me, telling me, what you playing for this racist side for? Leave. Every one of them, you know. I said, no, it's not that. It's a majority. Don't worry about that. And I had to play for that for 3 years. And that's right, the word is resilience. I respect that. I had to fight that every time. I went away after every game thinking, what could I do better? What am I doing wrong? A young boy had to think like that. Every time when I was at something, when I got the ball, I had to make sure when I got it, my touch was on point. If my touch weren't on point, I went, oh my God, they're gonna hammer me.
They're gonna have you, yeah.
So that was how it was. Down at the bridge and at away games. And Lord is above, you know. Lord is a very, very strong and a man that is all in us. You don't realize this. And even when you said about the other day, I've come out of a serious health scare, and the reason why I'm still here, brother.
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul, you mentioned, I see a couple of your interviews where you talk about where, you know, people say, go on, lad, you're going to go and play for Chelsea. And you've got this fire in your belly. And you said, no, I'm turning fire in my belly to fire in my boots. You had to, you know, literally put the fire on, take out, you know, all that feeling that, you know, being a professional footballer. He was at 4 years at Chelsea. And in the 4 years, can I ask you, did you actually feel welcome at all in the whole time you played top flight for Chelsea?
Very good question, you know. Let me put it to you like this. The time after 3 years, this is the time when the old Milk Cup was in it back in the day, 1984. And played the team, Sheffield Wednesday, who were really good. And I remember this well. Rodney, you know the history of this, because I was meeting my old man for the first time, 21. When he left me when I was 1. Now I'm 22.
When you was 1?
Yeah, he was living in Sheffield and we talked.
So you didn't know your dad then?
Yeah, bruv. Didn't. Well, I'll tell you, Mum never left now because she took all the pictures down. I didn't know what he looked like. It's one of those, you know what I mean? You know how Caribbean mothers did. You know what I mean? He left him gone. But every family member, boy, you look like your father. You look like your father. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm being in touch with him. He's down in Sheffield. I said, would you like to come and see me play? He said, yeah. Good. Now, this game, Sheffield Wednesday were a good side, was up there. And right from the start, don't get me wrong, I'm stub again. And remember it so well. They went 3-0 up in about 25 minutes. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, this here cup, quarter-final, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Half time. Cannons get stripped, you're going straight on. Bam. Collins come off, we got Dale Jasper pushing in the midfield. Get back. I don't know what it was, instinct. All I know is knock back, Joey Jones, up and under, Kerry Dixon, Speedo, and then I got him beyond the centre half, hit it first time to the right of the keeper, 3-1, 11 seconds. Let's get that ball. After that, every attack, 3-2, Mickey Thomas, 3-0, Kerry Dixon. Pat's giving me a ball now, and on the right, and I'm running to it.
Pat Nevin.
Yeah. And Kerry Dixon's cut across me. And I'm thinking I must just head straight into the box. Now, don't get me wrong. When you card for Kerry Dixon to pass, that man is so greedy, he don't like to pass. So I was cussing at Kerry, I'm free, Kerry! And Kerry gave me a ball. Well, before I knew it, I was in between the keeper and I put it through his leg. Now, you can imagine, this is 4-3. You think this is the winner. And where you greet the man who set you up, I went past him. Now everybody saw this hand in the air, like with a fist. And it wasn't meant no stampede or something. It was just me glorifying. But what it was, I went straight to the dugout. And the reason why I went to the dugout, there was a woman, Sheffield Wednesday fan. She kept giving me sweets at halftime, telling me, don't worry, there'll be a next time. So I went straight for her.
What do you mean sweets? What do you mean sweets? She was giving you...
I mean sweets to suck. She gave me sweets.
When he was on the subs bench?
When I was on the subs bench. Every time they scored 3-0 up, I had 3 sweets.
That's why you're not on teeth.
But no. You know, that's sugar. Sometimes, sweet things. But I went looking for her. And she had gone. Keith Jones was at the side. Canners. She went. After you scored, she just disappeared. Wow. So, yeah, that was on my glorified. And meeting my dad to see that performance on that day. He's never seen me ever play. I don't know if he saw me on telly. But for me, to how the game went and my dad being there, you don't know how much that was for me. It really was. And the furthermore was to meet him at the end. And like, I didn't know whether to be angry with him. And, you know what I mean? Just asking, well, where you been? Why didn't you come and check? And it was a case, boy, you all right? Yeah, man. Okay. What do you think of the game? All right, man. All right. I said, you want a drink? Yeah, man. All right, let's go. And that was it.
Yeah.
Forget that. So, you know what I mean? We're the best of friends, don't get me wrong. That's my dad. And after that, it's funny when you say recognised, supported. Who did we play? We played Watford, Luther Blissett, Barnsley at Stamford Bridge. I give Luther Blissett one piece of tackle, him and ball, outside touch. The shed end, who were notorious, giving me stick, had now started singing my name. First time, I mean Canoville, and like, boy, I'm playing, like, all my teammates now, half time, went inside, Candace, did you hear that, mate? You're one of us. That I had to tell them, but boys, I've always been one of you. I had to tell them. You know what I mean? But that was the response I was getting. It was like, don't get me wrong, my teammates were great. They were great. And the new influx of players that came in that got us promotion to the Division 1, the Pat Neville, the Speedy, the Kerrys, and Nigel, trust me, what a team. And the first game we played in that Division 1, who was it? Arsenal. Oh, bloody hell. You boys had a team, Mariner, Sampson, Paul Davis, Woodstock, Pat Jennings was in goal, Viv Anderson. Come on, man. You had a team, yeah? I had nightmares before. I was thinking, I'm playing against Viv, England right back. What am I going to do? And at the same time, you see, I've got Doug Rugby. Now, this is tall Doug Rugby, Scottish. From, was it Aberdeen? Yeah.
Aberdeen, yeah.
When Rugby talked to you, Canners, man, I need your help, man. I need your help. That's in my Scottish accent. I had to help him, bro. But let me tell you something. I had a blinding game. And a game that ended up 1-1. And it proved a lot of Arsenal friends, that was because I moved to Hackney then, proved to a lot of Arsenal friends that, yeah, Chelsea were up there. So, bruv, a lot of things has changed. A lot of things have changed right now. And what I've seen at the time with me and today's standard of football, I have to say something right now. And I'm giving that chance now because I've been given a second life. I'm not going to lie to you. That scare there, it did scare me. And when a man and the doctors come in and tell you, Paul, we didn't think you was going to come through this. Yeah. You're not hearing me. Because I had 3 ops in 1 week. Yeah. The first was a bowel, took that out, cleaned it up, whatever, put it back. I had the living pain. Now, gentlemen, you need to understand and hear what I'm saying here. My resilience is strong. I don't give in for nobody. When I say people taking their lives, I'm thinking, no, man, you can do better than that. But I'm going to tell you the truth here. And not many people knew about this. In the first op, I was in so much pain. I asked the nurse, please go and get the doctor. She asked me, can I ask why? I said, no, it's personal. And when the doctor come, I told him, Doc, can you put me to sleep?
Wow.
And I don't mean by sleep. I mean sleep.
Dead. Brown brain.
Yeah. Trust me.
God.
That's the pain I had that I couldn't take. And he told me, Paul, we can't do that. I said, boy, I won't tell nobody. Well, yeah, I won't tell nobody.
Wow.
Yeah, trust me when I say that, bro. And then next thing you know, I've got this temperature. They don't know where it's coming from. Back down to the operating theatre. Boom. Opened me up. I've got 2 liters of blood loose in my stomach. Wow. I've got blood clot in my throat, in my stomach. Had to sew me up. Had to get another surgeon to do a keyhole. He found out where the leak was. Third on, they said, we can't operate him because I had sepsis now. And they're not prepared to open me up again because there's no way he can take a further. Only by chance, and this is the truth, only by chance, I went and coughed. When I coughed, it opened the wound. And they went, what? This is an opportunity. They took out the sepsis, it was like a ball. But they couldn't sew me back up because I was so swollen. They had to leave my wound open for 3 days and it just covered. Next thing you know, I was vomiting in my own wound. That's how bad. I was sedated for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And I think that's what really kept me alive. Because I was in some serious dream. You know them real dream. The real dream when you're dead. I was in the Caribbean. That's all
I remember you telling me that.
Caribbean, holding boat party. I was on a boat, a fishing boat. It was hijacked. Yeah, it was hijacked. Trust me, I was like, hold on a minute. What's going on? No, hear what, man? I don't own the boat. Trust me. I was like, my life was being taken. I'm on a plane. It had Go Billion on there. People was on there trying to... I was like, no, all these dreams were coming about.
Yeah.
And believe me, I think that's what kept me alive. Because at the time, my sister, all she could do was talk to me on the phone. They had a nurse there in the ICU 24/7. And I had her hand, they said. And when my sister was talking, I was squeezing the hand, like to say I could hear her.
How long was you in there for, Paul? 6 weeks?
Yeah, no, bro, 2 months.
So you was so you had your
17th, come out March. I was in there for my birthday.
Damn. So you had Netflix going on in your head.
But
damn,
Netflix,
son.
I'm running party, blue clips.
Boy, I tell you what, there was a lot of people. We spoke about it here on. A lot of people praying for you. A lot of people, good wishes, and I'm sure you must have heard it, but not more than there was a lot of new Chelsea fans speaking of the name Paul Canoville. I heard more about you in your recent episode by a lot of fans. It was I'm not sure if there was a fueled by Black Lives Matter, Paul Canaville's Lives Matter, but there was a lot more people hanging on to the name Paul Canoville as the first black Chelsea footballer, and we got to hail him up. And there was a lot of that going on, I must admit, because obviously I've known of you as a footballer, but even Rodney, we mentioned on the show, your name was just popping up. And I don't know if that prop up was because being black, being the first Chelsea player from 1981 for Chelsea, your name was, you was up there, bro. Even when you was down, you was up there.
When you said that, because when I was awake now and put in my room and the get wells, I've never seen so many get wells sent to the hospital. It was like, well, and from all over the world. Yeah. And like, Paul, this game, they put up a banner, the Canners Way.
Yeah, I remember that.
What the? It was at Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield Wednesday game. I couldn't believe it. This banner was me as I just going, so the Canners Way, and I was like, I was emotional. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. And like people, Talk Sport, Rio, all players, it was like, whoa. You know what I mean? This was.
They thought you were going to die. Apparently, the only time when you know what people really think of you is when you get married or at your funeral. and people tell me you're going to die, and so I was being nice about you as well, Paul.
I mean, I tell you what, it was really. I mean, I remember having to write a story that my mate down there was ill, and that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do as a journalist, because we go back to Hackney days.
Yeah.
Right. When you was a superstar, and we all paid homage to you. But for all your experiences, PC, you have now written books. You've got the foundation going. You've used and fueled a lot of that negative that come through to positive now. And I know that you're absolutely desperate, and you are helping so many young people. Share a little bit about the foundation.
Foundation started, and don't get me wrong, because it was one of those things that 2004, I was a TA, teacher's assistant. I was a kid that hated school, but now back at school, helping kids. And I'm telling you, when you saw the kid and you said, oh my God, that boy is me. He needs help. And from there, I was learning. From year 6 to year 5 to year 3, I found a class that suited me. And then 2010, but you got to understand this. I've had cancer 3 times. Yeah, so I did 1996, 2004, 2010. No, 2000, yeah, 2000, and then 2010. So obviously my immune system was low. So every time I went to school, who's likely to give me a cold was these kids, because they had cold. So I had to take time off, and it was 2010 I had to make that decision and say, you know what, I can't do this. And that's what made me start up the foundation. I said, look, I love what I'm doing. I love going in, because I was still going into other schools whilst I was being a TA, and talking to kids and sharing and letting them understand how important their education, what this was about bullying, what this was about racism, and the importance of it. And I've been doing this, and I've enjoyed it, and it's taken me all over the world. I'm not lying. Australia, America, Germany, yeah. And it's gone from strength to strength. Don't get me wrong. Collaborations with other organisations that are working, and it just, these youth, all they need is a mentor, man. They need to talk to somebody that's been here and could share with them. And they know, don't get me wrong, they can tell the BS from somebody. Trust me, it will go over their head. But if you've been straight and tell them what you can do with yourself, yeah, if you want the help, we can help, they will listen. And that's where I am with this. And don't get me wrong, it's so much, but for me, it's this racism. It's bugging me, it's hurting me, and I'm getting angry. So what I said now, because I'm given the next chance, I've been given another chance, I'm going to be vocal. Oh yeah, I'm going to be vocal. Because too much with this, Rodney, we've been chatting this too much and no action. Now don't get me wrong, see that boycott of the social media? I didn't agree with it. I'm not going to lie to you, because I thought that was weak.
Did you boycott it?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was still sending my posts. And I told
Canners, King Canners on social. The same way.
I had to say, I'll tell you, I sent it and I didn't care, because I thought, we've been talking so much. How many times has this been happening? This has been years.
Gestures.
So hold on. Why isn't the government stepped in right now? Look, you're not sorting out your business. The security is not good. You should be screening all this. Here, what now? We're going to give you a big up fine, blast you with a fine, and then we're going to close you down for 4 or 5 days. That's what they should have done. Why are we closing? Why are we boycotting it? That ain't going to dent their pockets. No. That upset me. And I wasn't, don't give me no disrespect. I understand enough is enough, but I wasn't happy about that. So for me, I want to now take this into schools. It should be a curriculum. Racism. These youngsters need to know about cultures and understand what it means about racial behavior.
Well, it's not taught in the history lessons, that's for sure.
Not taught. We're not teaching what going. I have teachers telling me, "Oh, do you have to go now?" What do you mean? What you do in an hour, I can't even have them from 9 to 3 silent like that. And that's true. When I have an assembly, every one of them is quiet. They're listening. So it can work, but it can't be just me. There's enough of us. And I say this, man, come on, put your 2 cents in. There's enough ex-players that can do what they can do and get out there, because they will listen to them. Even before me. Don't get me wrong. It's hard, like, who are you? When did you? When they say, oh, he was the first black player. What? Where? But they know the recent players.
Drogba and SCM.
Yeah, they will listen to them.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. They need to come and get some feedback and give it. Bruv, anyway.
Don't get angry, Paul. Don't get angry. We heard about your temper, Paul.
Paul, I want to ask you something, Paul. Because a little Dicky Bird told me that you had to write up a man at Chelsea before you left. Who was that man you had to write up?
and Paul,
Not
Paul.
me.
We don't want no. I never, because I got it on first hand.
We got first,
information.
second, and third. Paul, we heard that's what happened. You left there because you hooked somebody. Which player was it?
I can't say for legal rights the name.
Paul.
That's why he's not even
Ernie.
listening.
He's 21, bro.
Ernie, didn't you explain to?
Because if he's listening,
We don't care.
Living hook. When I tell you what living hook, but I couldn't believe.
I know it was. I bet it was.
Nevin.
I don't want you to say it because I'm not.
It was Kerry Dixon.
Nah, I can't say it to you.
You wouldn't have thumped Mickey Joy because Mickey Joy was big. I remember Mickey Joy in my sticker book. He was this big.
What I'm saying, you just didn't expect a teammate to racially abuse you.
Canners.
No,
Canners.
But that's
Canners.
But hold on, understand. Here,
Just give us
Canners.
the initials.
Just give us the name. Who did you thump up? Canners.
Canners. Don't do it.
Don't do it, Canners.
Don't. Me and Rodney, we work on the other side, and we understand.
The other side
Two
don't
people just
matter.
want to take you down. They want to take you down a dark road.
I got a question.
Hey, listen.
Hold on. I've got a question for PC. Despite everything that you've said about how things were for you, PC, I know you love Chelsea Football Club. And I know you're doing an awful lot of. You're an ambassador there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why are you changing the subject for? Stop it. Let me tell you something. Wait a minute. Listen, Canners, let me say my piece. Let me say my piece.
No.
Let me say my piece. No, hang on. Let me say my piece.
Crystal, where you
You
at?
and Rodney and Eddie work on the other side. The other side don't run the road
We
anymore.
know
What runs the
Hackney.
road?
You don't know
Listen,
Hackney. You
hang
stay
on.
in your lane.
No, wait. I'm not talking about that road. I'm saying social media. When Paul Canoville reveals the name, his thing goes up because we need to know which player was abusing my brother.
no, it's not.
But it won't be about that. It'll be about who he punched. And it won't be, he's just told you that his job now is to deliver a message. And the message won't be helped by talking about who he
Why won't
punched
it be helped?
years ago.
Why won't it be helped? It's a
Well, how does it help the youths killing each
Yeah, it
other on the
doesn't
streets
But
right
I tell
now?
you why, because it's history.
He ain't gonna
This is
that
going to
ain't
show
gonna
you right now.
Dangerous.
I'm not hurt by it. I've moved on. You got to understand this. If I was hurt by this brother, I would have been banging at this brother. I'm not hurt by him because I don't have.
But you was hurt because you thumped him.
Yeah, bro, this you don't understand. I was taken home by the physio, Norman Meadows. Remember Norman Meadows? He was
I remember him. Yeah.
And this brother went on the coach with the rest of the team. You know, he had a brick in the bag for waiting for me.
That's why he's supposed to tell us his name.
No, bruv. Trust me. But what hurt me, and I know Chelsea know about this, is that Monday I got the phone call and I was elbowed out. Everybody thought, well, this boy got to go. He racially abused. They didn't even see me. I didn't even get to say bye. Now I'm a young boy. All I want to do is play football.
Okay.
So that incident,
play football.
Rodney.
So that incident, PC, was the beginning of the end for you at Chelsea. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Big and serious.
Let me ask.
No, big and serious. Rodney, one second. Big and serious. I'm not going to retract what I said, but
You ain't gonna get the answer. You know?
listen. No, I'm not going to retract.
That's why I call him the chipmunk. It's like he's got the nuts in them big old fat cheeks and he won't let it go.
I am not going to retract what I said. I will ask. I will press. If I see Canners, I will still press him for that answer. But what you've said to me, don't care what Eddie's got to say. To me, it makes no difference if you said his name. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't tarnish your name.
Not to you.
Not to Paul Canoville either. Not to call. You know why it doesn't? Because it's disgusting what happened. It's disgusting.
Yeah, clearly we know that.
And these guys will live with these badge of honor that they were Chelsea greats and Chelsea heroes. They were disgusting, Eddie.
Robbo, can I just say one thing to you, right?
All right, go.
And as you say, I'm on the other side. So just let me say one thing for a second, right? In all honesty, so much of my time is taken up by the action taken in retaliation to something and not about what caused that action in the first place. So us talking about the punch, I agree with you. It's in retaliation to something. But it won't be about that. And you have to decide your destiny. And if you've been given a second chance, because the rumor was you might not make it, P. And if you've got this chance, it's your job to decide how you're going to do that and what's the best vehicle that you use to get the message across. Because all I'm interested in, I'm going into work on Sunday to cover the mayoral election. And all I'm interested in is one thing, crime. Because I know them youths that are coming out in after the 21st, 4 out of 5 of the unemployment numbers are 18 to 25 years. The furlough kicks in September, and my heart is beating because I know what's coming. So if you can go into schools and we can get together to do something, then I prefer to do that than to read about who you punch in the newspaper.
Yeah.
You're not going to read about it, though.
That's where I am.
But we're not reading about it.
No.
All right then, Paul, you can tell us privately. We won't tell anybody.
I ain't doing that neither.
Tell them.
Mirror business. That's Sunday Mirror. Nah, tell them.
Sunday Mirror.
Nah.
This ain't no Sunday Mirror. Bun
I've
the
got a
Sunday
PC
Mirror.
question. I've got a question for PC. PC, obviously you did what you did in terms of having to handle racism, etc., etc. How do you think the likes of the Raheem Sterlings, the Tammy Abrahams, how do you think they're handling it? Should there be another level that they should take this scenario to?
Well, to be honest, right? How I heard it, like I wrote, like, all right, for me, I don't have anybody texting my tweets because they come straight from me, and I don't want nobody to. I'm understanding that they have somebody tweeting their tweets for them. That's another thing I'm hearing, and that to me that don't make sense because if the person doesn't tweet right, he's going to expect to get a backlash. Yeah. They've got to come from them. Now, don't get me wrong. What they've been receiving, I love what. Oh God, you mentioned the Man United boy. What's his name?
Rashford.
Love what he did about the school dinners. I love what he did, and it had to be a footballer. Well, it didn't have to be somebody at that higher stand to mention it for the government to hear and to get the support from the whole of the nation. Yeah, that was the only way that was going to come out so strong when he said that. Now, with my boy, Man City, oh God,
Sterling.
Raheem Sterling.
Raheem. See with Raheem's raw, you know. Raheem's raw. Trust me when I say that. And there's a man that said, you know what? He keeps to himself as well. That's another thing as well. Don't get me wrong. People now, right now, we have to speak out. And we've been given this platform. Yeah, we've been given this platform, and they have to use that platform because people will listen. Before, when we couldn't be outspoken back in then, we didn't have that. We didn't have the Twitter, the Facebook, and the WhatsApp. Yeah. So if I wanted to be outspoken, I was too scared to, because I thought if I was
consequences,
bruv, there was like I'd be in trouble. Oh, Paul, we can't have that. But you can understand when Pat made noise and say, hold on, how are you racially abusing this? When Pat made that noise, the chairman told him, don't do that again. Our chairman, you know, told Pat off, don't be doing that.
This is Pat Nevin you're talking about, yeah?
This is Pat Nevin. Sorry, I love he's just like that to me, Pat. And a chairman would tell Pat Nevin, hear what? Don't ever do that again. Now, hold on, the man who's showing his support more than the rest of the boys. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say they didn't have my support, give me support, but they never spoke out. Pat came along and spoke out. That's the
Ernie, wasn't Pat Nevin then? Can write him off as well.
Because I wrote it down. I put it down here. Ready to go.
But you know that point that you're making there, Paul, is really important because you know we're doing this thing about women at the minute, and the way that women are treated, a la the Knowles Clark story. Unless our guys get involved, it can't change. And the same applies, I think, to the race story. So until Harry Kane starts speaking about it as well, it's going to be really difficult for it to change. They have to be involved in it. It's not just black people who should be frightened of it.
Eddie, when we're talking about the knee, yeah, the one knee, I was thinking, are we serious? Hold on a minute. Was it we as the black? Was it George that went on his knee on the guy's neck, or was it the white policeman who went on his knees. So why are we going on our knees to recollect? That didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think it came from America with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, right? But interesting to listen to you, Paul, because it's full circle. So I just this book. So you remember 1968, Tommy Smith, the Black Power salute, and
exactly.
Check it out. See the hard time the white guy got from New Zealand and that. But when Muhammad Ali, or Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali, made his stand, there's a whole Jim Kelly, a whole bunch of them got together with top black athletes and said, we are going with. And they did that. Now, if everybody did it, it wouldn't be a thing. I think the thing that George Floyd has done is it's given, and with all due respect to, I suppose, Marcus Rashford and Raheem, theirs is slightly different. Marcus said, you're saying Foden is a nice boy because he bought a house for his mum, but I've done the same thing for my mum, and you're telling me I'm flash. Marcus Rashford used the food bank, so he was able to use experience. And what he did, and if anybody wants to go on a campaign, he stayed in his lane. I think what George has done is given everybody everywhere the courage to say, actually, I don't like when you put your hand in my hair. Actually, I don't like when you make a joke about my lunchbox. And a lot of white people are going, well, I didn't know it was a problem because you never told me before. So we're in a really interesting time.
And that's funny because you see, that's why I had the support of the apprentices, the black apprentices at Chelsea, because when I went in the changing room and the boys, the white boys, don't get me wrong, my teammates, were running a black joke. Paul's face is serious. They're laughing. I'm not laughing. Even the chairman, Mr. Bates, was there. I've got to say, Mr. Kim Bates was there. Didn't you find that funny, Paul? I said, you know what? No. And furthermore, don't be telling any black jokes whilst I'm in here. Said it just like that. Oh, Paul said, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And from that, I probably had kind of given myself the elbow because the man wouldn't renew me a contract.
That's right. Because they can't joke with you. But you're just a problem.
You think, trust me, when people are outside, you don't understand what a player goes through. If he's been put out and he said the wrong thing, that's it for him. He'd be dropped. Is to say the man, trust me, chairman back then had a lot of input. I'm telling you.
Well,
let me just talk to Crystal. Crystal, was some racism like in women's football? You get to see women's football. Like, is there a lot of racism?
I'll put it very simple for you. Have you seen the England women's national team?
No.
Ernie definitely ain't going to watch the English national
Okay, well,
team.
Google it and take a look at it. And when people ask me why don't you support the England women's national team, that is my answer. Because until I see a lineup, and until don't waste your time until I see representation, which is quite similar to the men's game, and that's quite recent with the men's game at the last World Cup in Russia. Until I see that replicated in the women's game, they don't have my support. I'm Jamaican.
The manager before Gary Neville didn't we have that with him and one of the black players, Rodders?
Yes, we
did. Am I going mad? Don't I remember we had that?
Phil Neville.
Yeah, exactly. So
before
until
Phil
I
Neville,
see that change, and until I see that representation that's quite similar to the men's game, I have no business looking at the England women's national team.
Hey, this is why I love Paul Canoville, and your story is amazing. Your story. Even though it was a short space of time, as I said, the amount of well-wishers during the time when you was going through your moments was amazing. So many people came out and was showing your support. And like Eddie said, possibly
he was for us, wasn't he, Rodders? One of him, Paul, who was playing for Beggars and Cola at the World, but first black hero.
Yeah, we had a few boxers as well. Was it Sylvester Mitty, Kirkland Lang?
Sylvester, yeah. Kirkland was the one, really. Kirkland Lang, yes.
What Paul did, he made himself accessible to us. That makes sense. He was a power.
Paul, he was running on the marshes.
Paul, you're old. We like to say you're gold school. You're old school. So you did old school things just like how we did. Well, maybe not like me, but I had your growing up years in Southall. You told a story of when, you know, you've had it rough, and you were obviously considering football, but not a lot of guidance. So you decided, well, while I'm doing this football thing, might as well go and start thieving in the shops. You told a story, brother. I've heard this story 3 times. Man. You have to tell it today.
Let me tell you something. All right. I say it as it is. I was the lamb. The boys were all older than me. But it was a time when, you know, your Caribbean mother wouldn't let you out. I used to sneak out, bro. Climb out the window. Latch it back. Go and meet the boys. So this time, I was out late. And the boys made a plan and said, yeah, we're going to electrical shop. We're going to break into it from the back. I went, yeah, okay.
God.
Two of us now rock into the shop. Alarm went off. Start running now across into the bush. We had to stay in the bush, when I say from nighttime to the morning. Play like we had got for work. But the way the police were surrounding with around, they knew it was 2 of us anyway. But my colleague, my friend, he got away. I got caught. And it was the first time offense. But judge weren't having it. It took me down to Borstal, bro. And let me tell you something, yeah? That opened my eyes. Because I'm not a person who likes to be locked up. I like my freedom. I like to know I can go out the front door and go to the paper shop and come back. This is the time I was locked up, bro. And fold my clothes, the discipline. Let me just tell you, the first day, you know, had to go outside the yard in your vest and your pants.
Wow.
And I'm saying, what are you lot doing? He said, we're waiting, queuing up for it. Queuing up for what? Are you mad? Nah, I mean, I went outside. Walk through to the screw, we call them. What do you think you're doing? I'm going to wash my face. Nah, you wash at the queue. I said, I ain't going no queue. Next thing I'm down in the block. I've got another 3 more days put onto my release date. That's when I woke up. I said, boy, Paul, that can't happen in there. I behaved. And it was only when I joined the team, a team that we played on Sunday, and we played teams from outside used to come.
Yeah.
And I played in the first game. We won 10-0, yeah? Yeah. And I scored all 9 of them. So the man, to tell you the truth, the school said, boy, you're good. No, you're really good. Why don't you go and play for Chelsea? And that's what he said. I said, Chelsea, leave me out. And you've got to understand the reason why. I supported Leeds United. Remember Leeds United back in the day? Come on, man.
Bremner, Norman Hunter. Yeah. Lorimer.
Peter Lorimer, Alan Clark, Jackie Chuck. Brother, you couldn't touch them, man. Let me give you the story, man, before you lot go. When we got promoted to Division 1, last game of the season at the Bridge, our last game at the Bridge before, we was playing Leeds United. So 2-2, first up, we're winning 4-0. I mean, the fans kept coming on the pitch. Referee said, get off, or this game's going to be abandoned. True. Second half, 25 minutes when Cannons, go and get one. He said, yeah, go and get on. And my manager told me straight, Cannons, whatever you do, don't score.
Oh, my God.
I got my idol who was playing for Leeds United. I keep forgetting the name. The 2 brothers, one either wing.
Gray.
Gray.
Was it Gray?
Eddie Gray. Eddie Gray.
Yeah. Frank.
Brother, I went and done a step over past Eddie. I was so hurtful that I went past him so easy. I went to Eddie and he said, sorry, Eddie. And I went past and I scored the goal. It was manic. It was the last minute. Referee just blowed up. Bro, unbelievable.
Wow.
From that day, I changed. I had to change, bruv, and started supporting Chelsea. That was it.
Wow.
I live in London. I'm not talking. I never went to Leeds. I live in London.
Yeah.
Let me ask a quick question.
For Chelsea, support the club.
PC, have you met Roman Abramovich?
And let me tell you something. You see, when people running down our manager, this is a man who loves his football. We played. All right. We played a game. It was me, Hasselback, Ken Moncal down at Cobham. Big old bang. Yeah. And this was Abramovich security, man. Brother, this boy could play. These man I'm telling you, this one, they love their football. This man loves his football. If he ain't there at the ground, he has them taped or videoed, and when he comes, he watches the game, the whole game. Trust me, you don't get chairman like that. And like you said, Rodney, this is a man who will give money for the club. You understand this as well. You see this, I say COVID. My sister said, no, it's COVID, Paul. I said COVID. I don't care. Yeah? She said, you see the time when that was going on in the pandemic? The hospital, Chelsea, Westminster. Yeah? The nurses and doctors. They said, because it's taking so long for them to get home and come back, what does my man do? He lets them stay in the hotel for free and fed them. The 2 hotels, you know, Cockthorne and Millennium. This is what Roman Abramovich done. Come on, man. You lot don't run out now.
Well, listen, we're not fans like you. I'm sorry, Paul. Talawa's got a final question. I'll leave it. You know, we've got to let the lady drop you a final question.
Yes,
Paul, with the way in which you were treated by the Chelsea fans, your ex-teammates, and also the club towards the end of your career with them, what type of effect did that treatment have on your mental health?
Very good question. It was really hard. I had to go through that every day. Even when I left, it was hurtful the way I left. Because I felt, what did I do wrong? And at the time, yeah, I was thinking like, I could, you know what I mean? Sorry, still don't like it. I love these texts that are coming through. But like Rodney said, I still love Chelsea. And you know what, Chris? Because the fans of today, those same fans are coming up to me and apologising. Can you imagine? Paul, you know what, man, I used to watch you play, but what I got to say, I wish to apologise. And I'm going like, apologise for what? You never did me nothing. No, I was the one that used to racially abuse you. And I'll be honest, I didn't know any different. I was just following my old man. Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
So what do I want me to do?
Paul, did that
great like now?
Hey, that's progress.
Yes.
Paul, did that player apologise to you?
The one that you
we was all there. Everybody was really concerned. No words. We had a event.
Did you knock him out proper?
Bro,
did you knock him out proper, Paul?
I was waiting for him.
All right, listen, Paul. I know that you got the book quickly. Well, I shouldn't say quickly. I'm going to rush you. Is it still available, black and blue?
I think in Amazon. You know,
yeah, it's still there. Still there.
It's still there. Don't get me wrong. I was just talking about this yesterday. I've not read my book, you know.
Hey, Paul, and my last question. If you need an audible voice, I'm your man. Don't go for Eddie. He sounds like a... Don't go for Eddie. Eddie hasn't got the silky tones. He's at BBC, but he's not silky like me. Right, Ed?
You're right. You got it.
I'm the audible man. Paul, listen, it's been a pleasure. We want you back on again. I like obviously what you're doing with young people, and just because life is being given to you, life is it's treated you good and it's treated you bad. But listen, we want to hear more about your story, man.
It's not over.
We just want the Canners way, mate.
About it. Yeah, but don't talk about it like you talk about it like it's over. And actually, you know, every day is a blessing. And last time I met Paul, we met on the tube on the way to Oxford Circus. And just sat there. Yeah, I do, because it's important. You know, what you must understand is that there's a reason that you survived, my brother. And honestly, we saw the love. You didn't see the love, so you have to understand. So whatever we do now, we have to make it. And we're all getting. Not you. You're really young. But us guys here are all getting to the age now where we have to think about this.
Old boy.
Speak for yourself.
The two oldest are talking. Do you see that, Paul? Of all of us, the two oldest are complaining about what I'm saying. We're getting to the legacy stage now.
59, I would remember the time where I was. in that hospital. Praise the Lord, I'm still here. And that's the truth. Definitely said that. It's the truth. And next year is the 6-0. Trust me, if we ain't in lockdown, oh God.
What a
Please
party.
be there. That's all
It's
I
gonna
got
be crazy.
So,
and then you tell us who you knocked out.
Jesus.
Listen, if you've watched the show, anybody that's watching the show, please share the show. We try to share as much as Paul's story, but if you're watching the show, please like and just subscribe. But you know what? Just like the show and share it. You don't have to do the subscription. Share the show. Paul Canoville, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you very much. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Uncle Eddie, Rodney, Ernie. Tomorrow, we're on 11 a.m. on Yanga TV. Just flash that, Anthony. Yeah, Freeview 261 and Sky 126, 11 till 12. Paul's story again. Thank you, guys. It's been another amazing Friday. The Canner's way this time. He's got to play out his tune. The man's dangerous.
And our is a two-string.
I am dangerous.
Listen, peace.